Sometimes on purpose, I don't respond to people. I'm like, is this person gonna follow up with me?
They have to bring you value without knowing that you're bringing them value.
Yeah. Right on the spot, he was like, you know what? I quit my job. Can I just be here and just learn from you guys? You don't need to pay me anything.
Know where all my contractors come from at this point? They message me on Instagram. People want to do business with us.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. My name is Enis with Whiteacre Properties. Today I have Marc Mason with me. He's someone that's gonna be at the meetup later tonight, but we're gonna jump into a conversation about his story in real estate investing. Marc is someone I actually know personally from 6 or 7 years ago. He's a real estate developer. He owns Eastside Home Solutions down in the South Shore of Boston. And when I got to know Marc, he actually was running a plumbing company. So I had a fix and flip in Medfield, Mass. Hired Marc, he handled the plumbing for me, and I didn't know this, but now he's into real estate investing, right? So I wanted to ask him how he operates his fix and flips, and I want to focus on the construction and the renovation numbers, right? So we're gonna dig deep into what's his cost per square feet, what does his process look like, where does he find contractors, how is he securing these deals, right? And he's gonna go, and I want to ask him about his branding because he's on social media everywhere. So guys, if you want to know about that, how someone local builds a business that's successful, stick with me to the end. And if you like the content or know someone that can benefit from this, share it. I have this goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers, so help me get there. So make sure to like, share, subscribe. Now let's jump into the conversation with Marc Mason. First time at the Whiteacre headquarters. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I actually pulled into the wrong parking lot up there. And I'm like, I've seen it online. It's white, you know. So finally, we got here.
You got here on time. Hey, Marc, for everybody that's watching, a little bit of your backstory. What do you do in real estate investing right now? And we'll get started.
Yeah, so I'm Marc Mason. I do real estate investing. You know, we do a little bit of buy and hold, but our primary focus is now new construction, which has been a little bit different than prior. I tend to shift and pivot when needed, depending on the market. So our primary focus is the land right now. So we're gearing up. It's gonna be an exciting 2024. 2023, you know, we finished, you know, we'll probably finish about just under 30 deals, 25 deals. That includes fix and flips, a couple wholesales, not too much. We kind of like getting dirty with it, and then new construction.
Got it. But mostly South Shore.
South Shore only. You know, okay. We're pretty picky. You know, we like the things that touch Taunton. I know we're doing one in Bridgewater. It doesn't necessarily touch Taunton, but it's in our wheelhouse. Obviously, as everybody knows here, things are getting tighter. Things are getting harder to come by. Yeah. So that was something, you know, that was in my eyes a layup that I could put my hands on and just navigate.
And there's value, obviously, in knowing your backyard, knowing your area and being focused, right? I get a lot of calls, actually, even at the meetups, and people ask this a lot. Why don't we go to another state, right? It's so expensive in Massachusetts. Why don't we just go to New Hampshire? Why don't we go to, you know, the Sun Belt, right? Like, what's the reason for you guys actually just focusing in that small area? Because in my eyes, obviously, it is a small area. You guys are super focused in the South Shore.
Two reasons: quality control and execution. And I feel like those are two important factors that people get emotional and forget about that. You know, people are like, you know, why don't you come over here? Come over here. You know, I'm like, hey, you want something in Connecticut? And I'm just like, it's right now, like, we got to stick to the numbers, and I have a commitment to my team to make sure we're profitable. Because when we're profitable, we can cut checks, and that's the most important. And it comes down to timing. You know, a lot of things can be bought right now. The time can't be. So we're really just creating a reputation in our area and trying to dominate just our area.
I appreciate you going over that. The other question I get a lot, and I talk a lot about it, is that, you know, the lead generation part. How are you guys buying deals right now? Where are the leads coming from?
I love this question because I go back and forth with all of our I'll say competitors, but like we're all a family, right? It's like we all like seeing each other win, you know. And I feel like I'll bring up, like, when you have that scarcity mindset, that's when you lose, you know? It's like, we're all gonna win, we all work together, there's enough to go around. It's funny because we go back and forth with a lot of people, and I'm organic. You know, and you know what? I've never been really heavy direct mail. I do direct mail. I think I told you we did $12,000 last year. And, like, you know, I think Enis can talk for himself how much he puts in direct mail.
Yeah, for Greater Boston, that's a really, really low number. Yeah.
I call it building a machine. Like, you have to build your machine, and it's hard. And when I set out to build my machine in 2019, I thought I was crazy hiring a full-time social media guy for $40,000 a year. And I made it work. It's like I made it work, and we're pretty much fully organic. And when I say organic, we're, reputation based, where realtors are coming to us. People want to do business with us. Yeah. Employees want to join our team because they see like how we treat our subcontractors, like how we treat our employees. So it's funny because like this whole, and it goes for both businesses, like I actually get more clients on the RCL mechanical. I get more employees through organic social media than I get clients, which is interesting because you know how the plumbing and HVAC market is.
Oh my God.
Where's the plumbers?
Exactly. But you must be doing something right, because obviously there's no good help out there, and they actually coming to you. They probably looking at you guys as having something important. They're exciting, good culture. I don't know what else you guys are doing. I'd be curious to know.
100%. Yeah, and that's where the growth came from, because you can't grow without a team. So when it comes to the organic, I think we just made a name for ourselves, and it's all the way at the bottom and to the top. And like, the planning boards know us. They trust us. They see us. They see our social media. We actually were selected. We weren't low bid on an offer. Mm-hmm. I always tell this story. Mm-hmm. It was $400,000 the other investor put in. We were $350,000. House was in Dayton, Mass. And she comes to me, her father died of COVID. She goes, Mark, here's the deal. Like, can you come up to $400,000? I want you to have the house, but we're $50,000 off. I said, forget her name, but I said, you know what? I can't. I'm sorry. And I got to stick to numbers. And this is what I have to make it work, And a lot of people get emotional. Right. And you know what? She came back to us. She goes, Mark, I want your team to do this job. I want my house, my father's house, to look like the houses on your Instagram. And that's more important to me and my father that's passed away than $50,000. Yeah. And that fucking time, it clicked. I'm like, wow. That just paid for the social media guy.
Right. Oh, yeah, right.
Never mind all the stuff that you really can't see on the ROI, which me, CJ, Ryan, we all go back and forth about it. Yeah. I'm like, you can't really measure the ROI, but you can, Yeah. And that's something that's measurable, right? Yeah. So it's interesting.
Yeah, someone starting out though, because reputation is everything, right? And you guys, we're spending a lot on direct mail, cold calling, SEO, leads, all of that, because that's what we decided to focus on. You guys focused on obviously just building a brand that everybody knows, and that's amazing, right? Probably the cost per lead is much lower this way. So it's anyone can do that, right? Just start out telling people what you do, right? Have a brand. I have a business page on Google, right, with Google reviews. But what else would you recommend people starting out, want to get into real estate investing? How can someone build that reputation, the brand?
I think the first step is figuring out what you want. And you can always pivot, right? Yeah. You can always pivot. I think the problem is people procrastinate. Yeah. I have a nickname in the office. Everybody calls me Trigger Mark. Especially if I have a Monster and energy drink, it's over. Like, it's like bang, bang, boom, and we're out. You got to execute, and, I pivoted, like we talked about. I pivoted a lot, We went from, wholesales to flips, back to wholesales, to new construction, to land, to just flipping land. Like, there's so many things that we've done. It can always change, but I think what everybody's missing is they just got to start to execute. And you're going to navigate your way, and you need to find a mentor, And I feel like people have egos, and they don't want to reach out. I think as time goes on in this new world we're coming in, people want to share more information, 100%. And podcasts like this are getting more popular, and people want to help other people. And I think it's changing a little bit, right? But I think it's like, it takes a lot of balls for someone just starting out to call Enis and say, hey, Enis, I'm buying my first house, because they think you're wasting your time, you get that a ton, but that's the stuff you gotta do.
You have to do it, and you have to be persistent, and you can't just be happy with sending me one email and expecting me to respond, right?
Exactly.
Like, sometimes on purpose I don't respond to people. I'm like, is this person gonna follow up with me?
100%.
Right?
They have to bring you value without knowing that you're bringing them value.
Yeah.
And I think that's, if you can figure that out, and I say this all the time, I'm like, if I wanted to be like Enis, what would I do? Right? Okay. I'd walk into Enis's place and I'd say, hey, Enis, I want to be a salesman. And you're going to be like, okay, so what's your experience? I don't got none. But you know what? I'm going to work for free. And you tell me how much I'm worth. And, do your best. Yeah. And you didn't build a team for not having a heart and not caring. Like, if they're performing, you're going to reward them. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I had someone from the videos, Devin, and Devin is from the South Shore. He's from Lakeville. He watched the videos. He reached out to me. I didn't respond. He came to the meetup, introduced himself in person. I liked him, connected, right away. And right on the spot, he was like, you know what? I quit my job. Can I just be here and just learn from you guys? You don't need to pay me anything. And he was one of those type of guys that he added value in everything. I'm like, so sure, yeah. So he turned from just coming to that meetup to being an intern to being an acquisitions person to staying for a year and a half with us. And then now he started his own business, which is awesome. But that's how, that's how it worked.
100%.
And that's the power of the video, obviously, and to what we're doing here, but also to people that really know what they want. Going back to what you said, having the clarity of what you want, providing value to that person. And just, that's how it works.
Something interesting you just said was like you were happy for him to go on his own.
100%.
Because mostly people are, they're a little scared, a little nervous that they're going to steal your base. But I think that what I'll say is like you can't replicate Whiteacre.
Yeah.
You can implement the systems, but you're not going to replicate Enis.
No.
And I mean,
yeah,
all the relationships.
It's definitely a mindset, and we're not coming from the scarcity mindset. Devin wanted to be in the South Shore, actually Cape Cod, and I'm like, that's not even my area. So you got my blessings. Go crush it.
Yeah, go crush it.
You know what we do, and you learn from it. Go do your own thing, man. It's it's normal, right? And we collaborate.
It'll come back.
Leads and 100%. If you're a buyer in Greater Boston and looking for a project, fill out the form below. Guys, we wholesale properties, right? So we are doing projects on our own, but we also have a ton of leads that we wholesale. So if you're looking for a project, again, fill out the form below, name information of what you need and what you're looking for, and we'll add you to our buyers list. One thing that we discussing before, actually we jumped on video here, was market we're in right now. How competitive it is with the high interest rates, market shifting on us. It's not easy being on the fix and flip game or new construction, right? Because those timelines, I mean, you guys are extremely fast. I wish I could do a project in 120 days. I can't beat that. But most people, me personally, I take 6 to 8 months to turn a project around. That's a long time, right? So when you buy a project today, your cash cycle is 8 months to get paid, right? Yep. So you got to know your numbers inside and out. And one of the things I wanted to bring you in, also a little bit selfish on my end, because I want to see how you run your numbers on construction side.
I don't think there's it's not going to be easy. Like, you're going to, like you said, it's easy to find a realtor that can run an ARV.
Exactly.
It's easy enough to find a house that you can buy.
Yeah.
I think those are two easy things. I think it's like you said, it's like, okay, when I'm building a new construction or I'm budgeting for construction costs, at this point in the game, I can look at it and be pretty close. But what it looked like for my first deal was, I didn't care. Yeah. I didn't care. I bought my first 3-family. I maxed out my fucking credit card, $60,000, had no plan. I was smart enough to do a zero balance transfer. So I had 6 months to figure out what the plan was, right? And I think that just comes with hustle and grit, you know what I mean? So I don't think that's something you can teach. I think that's something like, if you want it hard enough, that's what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. I was swiping the credit card and buying my contractors tools to pay them. I was having my brother pick up my sheetrock in Providence, Rhode Island, and bring him to Taunton. He wanted to kill me. Yeah. And then, and not even, we'll talk a little bit about my first deal when we're there tonight, but like, you fast forward all the stuff that I went through, because my first deal was actually bought off Hubzu, which was a high risk loan.
Yeah.
So, that was how it looked on the first deal, right? And I think that gave me the basis of like, I gotta tighten things up. Well, how do I do this? Luckily I come from a trade background, so I think you got to use your trade background as a resource. So I have a plumbing background. It's probably the most lucrative trade to be a part of. So naturally, I do plumbing and HVAC. So that was like, okay, I can figure that out. I get the cost. I had the business. We did business together. I got to know what things cost. The process, the construction process, and figuring out what framing costs, drywall costs, insulation, even how that works, or how it, like, do I need insulation? Do I not need insulation? I just think you need to dig in. Like, I don't know, there's no school that you're gonna go to. You can go get your CSL license, but it's not gonna tell you how to construct a house. Yeah. You just need to do it. You need to do it. And if that looks like, my biggest thing here is like, my success came from not being greedy. Pigs get slaughtered. I say it all the time. I actually partner with people that have opposite strengths than me. So, and that's how it looked like in the beginning. I had someone that did carpentry and money. you know, and then it swapped slowly, right? His skills came my skills, and then we outgrew each other. Then we went to something, and it wasn't outgrow like, hey, we're mad at each other. It was more of like, all right, I can do this on my own. Let's do this, guys. Yeah. And that's how it separated.
So what's the negative though if someone obviously doesn't want to partner up, they rather hire a GC, right? Yep. They want to buy the project, go talk to a couple of GCs, other than paying a little bit more, because obviously the GC got to be profitable. Do you like this strategy? Are you against it? In
my opinion, you're in a high risk game in the fix and flip world, right? And new construction.
Why do you say that?
You know, if you're doing we do our numbers off of 0.75 ARV. You know, you're buying at maybe a 0.65 or something. So, and you're going over asking, you know, and you're probably looking at a lot of different things. Reputation, do they get money? All this stuff. Can they get to the closing table? Are they going to back out? So, you know, you're probably averaging $20,000, $30,000 over asking, and it shrinks everything. So now you got to think about hard money. What's hard money look like? Do you actually know how to do those costs on hard money? Because right off, like you're knocking. I don't care what it is. You're knocking $30K off the top right away. That's minimum. Right. You're writing a $25,000 to $45,000 check on a good day, right? 45 probably on the higher scale if you've done a couple, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't know if you're just getting in the game. You don't know what you're running up against. So that's why I say JV. You know, and sometimes if you JV with somebody that has money, that doesn't have, like me, I don't have time. So I JV with people, boots on the ground. Yeah. Like, I got your back. I got the team. I got the secretary. I got the subcontractors. I got the payment. Like, we get the accounts payable on staff, but you need to man the ship. I'm here for questions, but you man the ship. Right. For me personally, because I thought about that early on, right? Do I just go hire somebody? I had time, so I'm like, I want to learn, so I did exactly what you just said. I went on YouTube and learned. I went to the meetups, right? All of that. I met guys like you and asked questions. Like, I didn't know this business, so I just relied on the subcontractors, the professionals. And then I realized in my first deal in Wayland, I hired a GC, and he took advantage of me left and right. I lost money on that deal, everything, right? What was the biggest takeaway of that?
The biggest takeaway is I couldn't control my job site. Yeah. I just let go of it. I didn't like the electrician, I didn't like the plumber there, but I couldn't fire them because I didn't hire them. Yeah. I hired the GC, that was his guys, right? So I said, I'll never do this again. So I went and got my GC license. And then I said, okay, if I don't like somebody, just fire the one person and we're done. But at least I can keep moving. Like, the most important thing on any project is to go to the finish line and sell it. If you get stuck, you're screwed, you're done, right? So it's easy working with a GC, you spend less time, right? Because you're not there managing everybody, creating schedules, buying materials maybe and all that stuff, but you lose control of the job, right? And you're gonna pay more, right? So obviously now your profit shrinks. But I think it's important for people to realize that, you know.
Yeah, and you learn so much more when you do it yourself, you know. You learn so much more, and you can control the schedule.
So if actually people watching, they want to do what we're doing, they want to be running their own job site, right? They now have to go find contractors. First of all, where can they find good people?
I built the machine. I think it's so funny because like we go back and forth, and a lot of people go back and forth about like, show me the return, direct mail, cold call. I get it, it works, but
you need to know your numbers.
What's
the return?
Know where all my contractors come from at this point? No idea. They message me on Instagram. They want to work for us. It's the craziest thing. They want to work. We got like a line, like we ended up, you know, we're very automated and we like technology. Yeah. So like we send them a pre-call link, fill it in, you know, boom, entity name, attach your COI, attach your W-9, like everything's there. You want to work for us? This is what you got to do. Here's your pre-call link, boom, goes into our CRM, gets saved. And when it's time for payday, it goes into our
and you have all
payroll.
of that. Let's talk about what you just mentioned as far as the pre-selling properties, right? Because I've never done it. Typically, you know, we are done with the renovations, we stage them, you know, price it right. I've always done that, but you guys actually pre-sell them, right? So what's the logic there? Does it work for you? Educate me on that a little bit. I'm sure people watching will learn from that.
Well, I like to first say that just because we pre-sell it doesn't mean we don't go through a realtor.
Yeah.
They just get a reduced commission because we did the legwork, you know? Okay. A lot of the times we'll give, hey, 1%, transact this thing, whether they take the liability on their firm or the brokerage, or it's just a check that's got, right? You know, we try to keep it away from the team
Yeah.
because it takes away other things. Yeah. I think I was telling you in there, round numbers, over the past year and a half, I think we've saved over $350,000 in listing fees. You know, and I don't say that because I'm big on one hand washes the other, and I never want to take out of somebody's pocket that fee. Yeah. It goes back and forth. Yeah. You know, I'm the kind of guy I'll take it out of my pocket and give it to you if there's even a question, right? Yeah. Because my brand and my reputation is more important.
So where are these buyers coming? So they're coming from social media mostly?
Yeah, I think they're just following the story.
And if not them, the buyer specifically, maybe it's their agent, right? Yep. That's watching and bringing them to you guys.
And sometimes it's hard conversation saying, hey, there's not enough room in this one. You know what I mean? Okay. You want the house, it's yours, but
at this price.
At this price, and usually if they have a good agent, they'll either step down or we'll massage it. And it goes back to organic marketing. Yeah. You know, sales and marketing is everything. And I think we just found success, and we're trying to find those little things that just kind of one here, one there. And one thing that we do, and you may have seen, is we give everybody the numbers, right? We go on social media, and we're like, you know, it's a funnel almost. Like, okay, we got 3 bed, 2 bath in Taunton. Keep it very vague. You know, who likes it?
People will reach out, yeah.
People DM you. Okay, and then the next time it's like, okay, let's break down what your mortgage is going to be. Because a lot of people just don't know they can be qualified, right?
I'm sorry to interrupt the video again, but I wanted to let you know that newsletter is the best way for you to stay in touch with us. Guys, every month we send a newsletter and we summarize everything we do right here in the business at Whiteacre. We're gonna put the videos in there. We're gonna put the meetup interviews. We're gonna remind you of any deals that we're wholesaling. If you are a lender with us and you want to keep an eye on our projects, that's where we put all our progress, photos, videos, and everything that happens here. So if you want to stay in touch with us and learn what we're up to, please sign up for our newsletter. You'll get that email every month. Another question I get a lot is, what are we spending cost per square feet? It's such a loaded question, right? Hard to obviously answer, you know, with much more context, but for new construction at least, in the South Shore of Boston, what are you guys spending in average cost per square foot?
Cost per square foot is a loaded question. Yeah. Because I think it's different for everybody. Yeah. We like to kind of lump everything in. Some people do cost per square foot, just the house and the foundation. Some people do no foundation. Some people don't do site work. Some people don't include the driveway. I like to kind of lump everything in. Some people put the land acquisition in there. So it's a loaded question, you know. I think my average answer is to stay safe, like $225.
For anyone starting out, again, looking at your journey, actually, before going there, I'm selfish because I want to ask one more question. Culture, right? You have a lot of people now on payroll, in the office, on the field. What are you guys doing to keep them focused, working for you, and not working for somebody else? You know, anything you're posting, I see, you know, people are sticking around, they're happy. You
know, when I came out to build, when I actually learned like what they had the vision, then I'm like, all right, I have this vision. I've worked at all these companies. I know what I don't want. What I do want is I want everybody to walk in this company, and I want them to be smiling. I want them to work here. I want everybody to have each other's back. Like corporate world, everybody's stabbing each other in the back. Everybody's scared of each other. How can I change that, you know? And I didn't really have the map or the blueprint, you know? I just did good by everybody. And it started with social media. At that same time, it was, I created that image and created that brand that was attractive on both. If you notice, like Eastside and RCL, they're both like, they kind of align in brand, black and white a little bit. I actually added blue in RCL because it's like home service to kind of like, it'd stand out on the highway and in the neighborhoods. It's just attractive brand, right? Like just like Whiteacre, like I look at it and my eyes are attracted to it a little bit, which that's what people want. I think money's important, but I think what more important now is people want to be part of something good. They want to win, and that's what they see. They see everything on social media. It's funny because like my guys, they get the nice trucks. Like nobody's riding around and like in a shitty truck. They get wraps, $5,000 wraps per truck. They get the polos, like they get the tools. Like I'm not over here like, I'm not gonna give you that Milwaukee. Like let's go. You got the tools. You got this. Like. And they're like, oh my God, my last boss, you know, it took me 3 months to get a new Pro Press gun. I'm like, tools are cheap, dude. Labor's expensive. Let's go. Let's get you in here. If that will make you smile at that customer and get me a Google review, I'm in. That's what attracted everybody. Cause like I started getting people in like the supply house, like, and they come in for an interview. The first thing is like, I seen your Google reviews. I see you guys all over online. If you can tell, we're doing team culture videos. We're not doing just one. Like, we are flooding the market with my teams on there, you know, and it's about the team. It ain't about me. It ain't about, it's bigger than me. It's big. It's a machine now. So people want to be a part of it.
All right. So to wrap up, one question I want to ask before: what helped you as far as masterminds, books, local mentors, you know, meetups, anything that made a big difference? That, again, people watching can be like, you know what, I'll explore that.
What really took me to the next level is a mastermind called Apex. It's a mastermind that Ryan Stewman puts on. I fly down to Texas every 3 months, and us business owners chop it up, do our thing. And one thing that I really learned there was, obviously made a lot of connections, a lot of Facebook friends, and you're like, you come back and like your wife's like, well, you know, you're never gonna see him again. But it's like, do I even see my friends? Like, me and my friends are, we talk over text message and Facebook anyway. Like, that's what the world is. Mm-hmm. That's what took me to the next level, because I learned a lot about marketing and sales there. And I think that's the stepping stone to business. Like, you're not gonna wanna do business with somebody that doesn't have an Instagram or Facebook, or doesn't have at least like that know, like, trust feeling. Mm-hmm. And I think that you need to be known, you gotta be likable, and you gotta be trustworthy.
Simple enough, but you know, people don't even do that.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Everybody thinks like, what's the secret? It's like, the secret's doing all the foundational things that we learned when we were kids consistently. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it's hard work. It's tough.
Can we share any information about the book?
The book's been a ride. You know, it may be the first and last book I write. We'll see how it goes, but it's been a challenge because I've been talking a lot about my past and my childhood. We should be published in December, hopefully. So we're gonna start marketing that first. So we're excited.
Do you have a title?
It's gonna be called The Resilient Entrepreneur.
Love it.
How to overcome adversity and create wealth.
That's awesome. Where can people reach out? How can they learn more about you guys?
I have two companies, RCL Mechanical and Eastside. Eastside has obviously a bunch of different entities within it. Reach out on Instagram or Facebook, you know. That's the best way to reach me. I'll get back to you in a couple days, if not the day of, or someone from my team will get you in the loop. That's at Eastside Property LLC, and that's at RCL Mechanical. Pretty simple. And then obviously Marc Mason for a personal Facebook.
Awesome. We got to wrap it up because we have to head out to the meetup. Guys, we have a meetup once a month. It's a networking event. Guys like Marc are there as guest speakers, so come join us. We'll put a link below. I think we'll call it a wrap. This was great. I appreciate it.
Amazing.
Thanks, man. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you guys found this valuable. I learned a lot talking to the guests that come here. Honestly, this used to be conversation I had over lunch or dinner with people, right? And now I'm sharing it with you. And the goal here for you guys to be a fly in the wall in these conversations and learn, right? Get inspired, understand what's going on in real business in our greater Boston market, right? What are other people doing, right? And hopefully there are some golden nuggets there that you can take, make it yours, and grow your business. But most importantly, guys, I wanna have this open channel of communication, right? This is just not a video I'm sending out. I wanna hear from you, right? And that's why we do the meetup. That's why we do the free REI classes. That's why I ask for comments. I'm here to support you in any way I can. I don't know if I'm gonna have all the answers, but I can help you with a team, right? Contractors, attorneys, all of that stuff. And there's people that are sending us deals. So obviously we're open to receiving those leads. So guys, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You have all my contact information below, so reach out and catch you on the next one. Thank you.